Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today we'll discuss about the operator precedence parsing in compiler design. Let us see the definition first. A grammar is said to be operator precedence. Okay, so if the grammar is operator precedence, then no production on right side is epsilon. There should not be any production rule containing two adjacent non-terminals. So when you see rule 1, no production on right hand side is epsilon. So that means when you take any example, let us say E tends to A tends to A by epsilon. So remember, we cannot say this is a operator precedence because here right hand side it is having epsilon. Remember, when you write E tends to A, this is called as left side. So this is called as left side. It is called as right side. This is called as left side. It is called as right side. Okay. So there should not be any production rule containing two adjacent non-terminals. So the example is here when I write E tends to A, B, A tends to A, B tends to B. So here we cannot say this production is operator precedence because two adjacent non-terminals here AB are adjacent non-terminals. It is having adjacent non-terminals. So but as per definition you should not have any adjacent non-terminals. Okay. So remember, important point, it should not have epsilon in the right hand side, no two adjacent non-terminals in the right side. Okay, so they have given one problem here. You can see E tends to EAE/ID. Okay friends, now you can see here the value of E is EAE, but we can say here two adjacent non-terminals are there, hence you should replace this value. Now what I am going to do, E tends to E. So what is the value of A? They have given plus E slash E tends to. So instead of A I replaced plus. Instead of A I can write star. Okay. So then you can write E. So already we have ID is there. Okay friends. So now this is called as operator precedence because no two adjacent values are non-terminals. Now it should not have even epsilon also. Okay friends. Now we are going to construct parsing table. Okay. So this is called as what we are going to say operator precedence operator precedence table. Okay friends. So first we are going to construct the operator precedence table. So when you construct the operator precedence table, you must write only except non-terminals. So in this only here EAE are called as non-terminals and remaining values are terminals. You can see here the first value is ID, second value is plus, third value is star, and last value is dollar. So similarly I can write in the above also ID plus star and dollar. Okay friends, so this is called as operator precedence table. Now what I am going to do, so I am going to compare ID with ID, ID with plus, ID with star, ID with dollar. So remember, when you construct operator precedence table, you are going to compare all values with all. So okay, so now let us construct one by one easily. Okay friends, now you can see in this So this is called as a operator precedence table. Now you can see I am going to compare ID with ID. Remember, when you compare it ID with ID, there is a no values will come. Okay, but when you compare with ID, identifier is always greater than plus. I am going to compare identifier with plus. Identifier is greater than star. Identifier is greater than dollar. So this is a basic terminology. Identifier is greater than plus star dollar. Okay, but when you say dollar, dollar is less than identifier plus star. Okay friends, next, when the identifier is greater than, identifier is greater than plus star dollar, so plus is less than identifier, next star is less than identifier. Okay, so next I can compare plus with star. Plus is always less than star. I can compare star with plus. Star is greater than plus. Next, when you compare plus with dollar, plus is greater than dollar, because I am saying dollar is less than all values. That means plus is greater than, star is greater than dollar. Now you can see when there is a comparison with the plus. So remember, here always it comes greater than. Star with star always greater than. So this is called as what we say friends, operator precedence table. Now we talk about the graph. Okay, so I am going to construct the graph. Okay, so graph using operator precedence table. So let us say these values are called as f of f values. So these are called as f values. These are called as g values. Okay friends, now what I am going to do, I am going to take the values of this one. So let us say this is f of id, second one f plus, then we are going to say f star, then I am going to have f dollar. Okay friends, so next similarly I am going to write g of values also. So g of id, then I am going to write g plus, then I can write g star, then I can write g dollar. Okay friends, so remember how these values will come because of this f of id, f plus, f star, f dollar, g plus, g of id, g plus, g star, g dollar. So now we are going to construct the operator precedence graph. Okay, so till now we construct the operator precedence table. Now we talk about the graph. Okay, so remember when you compare id with g, f of id with g of plus. Okay, so f of id, g of id, f of id, g of id, there is nothing. F of id to g plus. Okay, so here what I am going to do, f of id with g of id, f of id with g plus. Okay, there is a link between f of id to g plus. So now what I am going to do, just I am going to give the values between f of id to g plus. Okay, f of id to g star. Okay, so next f of id to g plus, then f of id to g dollar. Okay friends, so remember one of the interesting thing, when you get greater than symbol, you should give arrow mark to g. When you get less than symbol, you should give symbol to the g of. Okay, now you can see f of id, all values are greater than, hence I mentioned greater than for g value. Now let us take this one, f of plus. So f of plus is g of id, f of plus is g of id. So this is less than, less than means it comes for f plus. Okay, so next f plus, next f plus to g plus. Okay, this is f plus to g plus, but if you say greater than, Now I can write for G. Next, f of plus G star. F of plus G star. So f plus G star less than symbol. When less than come, you go for f. Okay. Next, f plus with G dollar. So f plus with G dollar is greater than, hence arrow mark come for this one. So this is a way to construct the graph, friends. Very, very important, friends. Now you can see f star. So f star is G of id. F star G of id. So less than symbol is there. When you found less than, you write for f. Okay. So f star with G plus. F star with G plus greater than symbol means you should draw for G. Okay, friends. Next, F star with G star. F star with G star. So in this F star with G star greater than symbol. When you find greater than symbol, you should draw for G. Okay, friends. Next, F dollar with G of id G plus G star. All the values are less than. So now what I am going to do, all the values are less than here. So now what I am going to do, so remember one of the important point here, I am going to say greater than symbol, hence I draw for only this G values. Okay, friends. So this is a way to construct the graph. Very, very easy, friends. If at all you did not understand, kindly watch again, friends. Okay. So now we are going to find out the longest path. So longest path means what you have to do. Just to look at the values here. Now you can say in this what is going to be happened. Okay. So now we are going to write the longest path. So now you can see G of id with G star. Okay. Just you see the arrow marks f of id with G star. So I am writing f of id with, you can see f of id with what is going to be happen now. So here in this we are going to write all the path values. Let us say f of id. Okay, I can write here f of id, then f of id. So then here we are going to write the values f of id. So f of id is G plus. Okay, friends. Then G plus 2. Now you can see f of id to G plus. G plus 2. In this, what is going to be happen for this G plus, where is going to be this values. So in this G plus, all the values will be greater than only. So no values will come. Now what I am going to do, f of id G star. Okay, we can write G star here. Now after G star, you can observe it is go to F plus. Okay, friends. So F plus 2 again it go to, now you can observe F plus 2 it go to G plus. Next G plus 2 again here in this G plus 2 it is going for F dollar. So here one of the important point, when you get less than symbol, so you should draw arrow mark for this F dollar. Sorry, one mistake happened. So this arrow mark is not there. This arrow mark is not there. This arrow mark is not there. Okay, friends. So when the f of f plus, okay, f of id G star to F plus to, you can say G plus. So here G plus to F dollar, G plus to F dollar. Okay, friends. F of id to F star, F plus to G plus. Okay, so here we can write here we can write F plus. So this is the longest path, friends. Okay. Now, so we are going to construct f of id to F dollar. Now I am going to construct G of id to G dollar. Okay. So from f of id, g of id to f dollar, g of id to this value. I can go to f star. Yes, I can go to f star. Then after f star, you can observe I can go to g plus, or else I can also go to g star also. Let us take g star. Then I can go to, after G star, I can go to F plus. So always you should select only the longest path, friends. So after G plus, I can go to F plus, I can go to G plus, then I can go to F dollar. So this is the way to the construct the longest path, friends. So you can find any path, but you need to select only the longest path, friends. Okay. So now what I am going to do, so the problem comes to end now. What we are going to do, so remember one of the final point we are coming now. So let us say there are two values. First one is F, second one is G. Okay friends, now what we are going to do, just you take the values of this one plus, then we are going to star, then we are going to id, then we are going to dollar. So plus star id dollar. So we are going to find out the value of this one. So it is the values here f plus. Now I am going to find the value of this one. Here the f plus is the distance from f plus to, okay, the distance from f plus to f dollar. So 1 2, just simply write 2. Next f star. So from f star to here, from f star to f dollar. Okay, 1 1 2 3 4, I can write 4. F plus to f dollar, again the value is, so fid on the next. So fid to f dollar, 1 2 3 4, friends. Next f dollar. So is there any distance between f dollar to f dollar? No, 0. Next g of id. So g of id means what you have to do? G of id means you should take the value of this plus. Okay, so g plus here f dollar. So the answer could be 1. The distance is 1. Star, g star, 1 2 3, the distance is 3. G of id, 1 2 3 4 5. Now you can see g dollar. So there is a nothing g dollar, hence we can say 0. So this is a way to construct the operator precedence parsing, friends. Okay. So I am writing my mobile number here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, friends. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel. Okay friends, thank you. Please subscribe.